Josh Todd from Buckcherry joins us today at the Rock House. Josh, on the eve of his Australian tour, is here to talk not only about the tour, but the latest album, Hellbound. Josh, welcome to the Rock House. How are you, mate?
Hey, thanks for having me. I'm great. Just here in Nashville, finishing up the recording of our record number 10.
Number 10's on its way, is it?
Yeah, it'll be, we'll release it in the new year, probably before summer sometime, but it's really good. And we're just doing the final finishing touches on it right now.
Wow, looking forward to that then as well. So album number 10, that's fantastic. The band formed in 1995.
Rotate this. There you go.
Fantastic. You formed the band in 1995. At that point, what was the vision for the band?
The vision for the band? We just wanted to be who we were. We wanted to just make honest, great rock music, and if everybody wanted it, then great. And if nobody did, then at least we were, being true to ourselves, and it just happened to work out because we were in a really weird climate at the time when we first started. There was all this rap rock was really huge at that time. There was a lot of the what I call like shoegazer rock, where it was like nerd rock, where they're wearing Buddy Holly glasses and looking down at their shoes. And so when we kind of started playing out in Los Angeles, people didn't get it at first. They didn't know what was going on. And what we were doing was, they liked it. They don't know why they liked it, and then we just started, me and my bass player at the time, we just started like working the phones and like self-managing the band and booking shows up and down the coast of California and kind of staying out of LA and until we created this like frenzy. And then we did a series of like 4 shows in LA and then we got signed.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
The band took a brief hiatus, but come back really strong in 2006 with the album 15 and probably the biggest single from that, Crazy Bitch. What was the feeling like at that point? Did you feel that you had that resurgence happening again?
Yeah, that was quite a roller coaster. I mean, if you would have known what was going on behind the scenes before that song started taking off, you just wouldn't have believed it. It was just we completely rolled that record out backwards as far as how you're supposed to roll a record out, and it worked out. It just happened to work out, and thank God for that. Thank God for that song because it put us back on the map, and it was we just rode the wave. That was a crazy time with a crazy song, and we had a lot of fun, and then we just kept going, kept making records, and here we are today making our 10th record.
Yeah, really looking forward to that as well. A lot of classic albums since that time as well. 2010 All Night Long. I want to have a little chat about 2019 War Paint.
Right.
Love the song Head Like a Hole. What was the story behind covering a 9 Inch Nails song?
It happened really organically. We were just in the recording room. We were all kind of mic'd up. We were just playing, running down the songs live. And I said, does anybody know Head Like a Hole? Let's just rip it out. And we did that because, every time you do a record cycle, people always talk about, are you guys going to do any covers? And so I was like, I like this song. I think that it would, it's really good in my vocal range. And I like the words. And, Pretty Hate Machine was like, I liked it. I liked the record. So we just jammed it out and everybody was like, that sounds so good. It sounds like a Buckcherry song, but it's a 9 Inch Nails song. So that's why we did it. It just felt good and we all could own it and we liked it, and it was good in my vocal range. So
fantastic. And a great video for it as well.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah. Your latest release, album number 9, Hellbound. Buckcherry just goes from strength to strength, and I think Hellbound is probably one of the strongest releases to date.
Me as well.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1 kicks the album off. What's the meaning behind this song?
Oh wow. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I got to think about it. um, I think that song was about me kind of looking back at all the bodies in the wake of the Buckcherry story. Not only band members, but like managers and record companies and everything. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 goes another one. Now you're on your one. Are you having fun? And it had to do with the pandemic at the time as well. I was just kind of wrapping it all up, as far as a life story and like things that you think are gonna last a long time that don't, and that's really what the song's about. I love the first line. Getting cornered was a bad decision, and
Yeah, yeah,
I love that. I love that first line because I have felt many times in my career that I put myself backed myself into a corner, and it's super super frustrating because a lot of musicians and artists, you get into this because you're passionate about being an artist and writing songs and performing. And then once you get your first record deal, I mean, it becomes about like you have to learn business and you have to put on a business hat and you have to start understanding all that and wrapping your head around it and trying to separate that from the art. And it's challenging, and there's a lot of peaks and valleys that come with that. So that's what it's about.
it's definitely a lot of peaks and valleys when you talk about having a major band and a record deal as
Yes,
well.
very, very a lot to manage.
It is a lot to manage. What's your coping mechanism to manage all of that business side as well? Because
I,
that's
you
not an
know,
easy.
I right. The thing that I always, when I'm going through all that stuff, and we've gone through a tremendous amount of stuff, and when I'm going through that, I have to kind of get back to the basics. That's what I like to say to myself. Josh, let's get back to the basics, buddy. Like, why did you start this? Why did you do this? And then I just get right back into that 15-year-old kid, and why I did this. And the reason I did this is because it was the only thing that made me happy in life. It was the only thing that consistently made me happy. And I'm super passionate about music and writing and words and creating something from nothing and performing, and like that's never going to change. And so when I get there and I get back to that place, then I'm like, okay, I can go through this uncomfortable moment in time, and I'm going to be strong and get through this. And because I know what my outcome is. My outcome is that I managed to be one of the few that gets to do this for a living, and I'm
Yeah,
going to hold on to it, and nobody's taking it from me. Like
that's awesome
that's where I
words.
go.
Awesome words. The second track, So Hot. The video itself looks great. You wear an ACDC
Yeah,
in that video. Are ACDC a major influence to your own creativity?
such a big influence, and they were really the first major like rock band that I embraced as a youth,
Yeah.
because prior to ACDC, I grew up in Orange County, California. I was surfing and skateboarding, and I was all into independent punk rock bands like 7 Seconds and Subhumans and GBH and the Toy Dolls and Black Flag and Social Distortion and bands like that. So I didn't start listening to like rock music till I was like a freshman in high school, so and I just remember that Back in Black was like the first record that I could like I was like, damn, this is cool, like I thought it was cool. um you know I just every song made me want to dance and party, or just raise hell. And I remember I used to take that record to parties, right? I'd put it in my back pocket. Like at that time we had like cassettes,
The old
and
cassette. Yeah.
I would stick the cassette in my pocket, and I would go into any house party. Like in Orange County, we had a lot of house parties. And that's what we do. Somebody's parents would leave, and we'd have a house party. Somebody get a keg of beer, and I
Wow.
would always go into these situations. And because I was so into Back in Black, I would like sneak into wherever the stereo was that was playing music, and I would put in Back in Black, and I would just sit back and watch the party change, And I loved that because I loved, and that was like when I got the bug, because I was like, wow, look how powerful music is. Look what it
Oh,
does to all these people, you know, like this is what I want to do. I want to make that record that does this to all these people, you know, like that was my dream, you know. So that's really when it really kicked in.
yeah. Todd, I was blessed. My father brought me up on the Bon Scott era of AC/DC. So,
Yeah, amazing. And it's so weird because I got into Back in Black first, and then I started, and
yeah,
then somebody was like, that's not the first singer, and I was like, what? And then I
yeah,
got into all the first records and Bon Scott, and he's just amazing.
amazing. I actually see a
Yeah.
little bit of Bon Scott in yourself, mate, in your videos.
Yeah, people have said that to me, and that's like such an amazing compliment.
Yeah.
Thank
The
you.
rest of the band, Stevie D on guitar, Kelly Lemieux on bass, Francis Ruiz on drums, and Billy Rowe on guitar. You've
Yes.
really seemed to have formed a solid combination with this group of guys, particularly Stevie D, who's been part of your life for a long time, right?
Yes. Yeah. Stevie and I have a long history. I met him when I was 19. When I got my first job in Hollywood, he was working there. It was at Aardvarks, which is a vintage clothing store in Venice Beach, and there was Stevie. And Stevie had he had long dreads, and he was wearing like overalls with no shirt underneath, and like Stevie's like very hip guy. He can put any kind of clothing together, and he always looks good. I can never do that, but he's always been that guy, and everybody loves Stevie, right? So we just got along really well. And he was doing like a Prince type singer songwriter thing at the time, and that's what he was doing, and I was doing my thing. And it wasn't about music. I mean, we loved music, we liked the same bands, but it was more about our friendship, and it was, we worked together, and then we all of a sudden became roommates. And it wasn't until years later that we got in this band together, and there was a lot of things that happened between Stevie and I that, and it, over time, we'd always get brought back together. So this was really meant to be, because I've never been able to shed the guy since I was 19, So he's definitely my best friend.
Yeah, that's awesome to hear. Is this your first trip to Australia?
No, no, we've been to Australia 3 times prior to
Yeah.
this, I think.
What's
Yeah.
your memory of Australia so far?
I mean, I think the biggest, time was like the first time, of course. That's always the one you remember the most, and that was on the first record. And I just remember like it was like Animal House when we walked on stage. And like what we love about Australia is it's
Yeah,
like you guys are really passionate about rock music, and that's like it's so great for us. It's so refreshing because we do the majority of our touring in the United States, and Americans are very spoiled with all kinds of music, and so it's just not as big of a deal as like when we go to like places like Australia, and we get on stage, and you can just feel the passion, and everybody's rowdy and drunk, and it's like madness, and it's everything that if you could paint the picture of what Buckcherry is live,
the
it's like an
Australian crowd.
Australian crowd. An Australian crowd would like completely define what Buckcherry is live. So
Yeah,
that's all we need. We go into a situation where it's sold out and people are out of their minds. It's like perfect for us.
yeah, yeah. We are passionate about our rock music down here, mate. We do celebrate
Yes,
with
sir.
a few
And
cold
thank
beers.
God for that.
All right, let's go through the Australian tour. It kicks off in Auckland at the Power Station on Monday, the 28th of November, over to Brisbane on Wednesday, the 30th, Max Watts in Melbourne on Friday, the 2nd of December. Max Watts is just an iconic underground rock venue, mate. You'll love Max
Let's
Watts.
go.
Saturday, 3rd of December, Manning Bar in Sydney, and it finalises on Sunday, the 4th of December at the Lion Arts Factory in Adelaide. I mean, that's a huge travel schedule there in itself. How do you and the band prepare for a tour like this?
We're never not prepared. That's how we prepare. I never not rehearse. Like I've already sang a headlining Buckcherry set prior to getting on this call. So I mean, I've already practiced today, and I've already, and I just sang so many songs, but I'm like, I got to be in shape. I got to get on a plane here in 2 days. And so I'm going home, and I want to make sure that I'm fresh, and I got this, because singing a Buckcherry set is at 51 is a lot different. So you have to really stay rehearsed and practiced, for me, and that's what we do. And we do a lot of shows, period. We just finished 236 shows since June 1st of last year for the Hellbound tour. So, it's about being prepared.
Fantastic. My editor would be very angry if I didn't ask about Josh Todd and the Conflicts, mate. She is a
Yeah,
huge...
man. Yeah, that's cool. That's a great record. Year of the Tiger. Had a lot of fun doing that. It was actually Stevie and I's first record that we got to do together. And it was so special, and our backs were against the wall at the time, and a lot of stuff was going on. And so that record was like our beacon, it was like our ray of light that we just stayed focused on, and thank God for it. And you can really hear it in the record.
Yeah,
I don't know what's going to happen with Josh Todd and the Conflict. That's always, on my radar. And, when the time is right, we'll probably do another record at some point.
awesome. That's great to hear. Album number 10 is on its way. When can we expect to see that?
You can expect that at the beginning of the summer next year, probably sometime. I don't have a release date yet, but we're working on all that stuff right now. And after we do Australia, we're going to break for the holidays, and then we'll be back on the road in March in the States.
Can we expect any of the new songs to make it on the tour down here?
No, we just got so many songs we can't even get to right now. We got 9 records of material. So, no, we'll be focused on, it's still going to be considered the Hellbound tour when we go there. So we'll be focused on that. It's a great record. We can't even get to all those songs live. And I'm sure everybody is going to want to hear a lot of first record and 15 songs. And so we'll just mix it up and give you guys a good time.
Fantastic. We are looking forward to it. Mate, there's one question I do want to know. For any new artists that's entering the industry, what's the best bit of advice you can give them?
Oh, wow. I get asked that a lot, and I think first and foremost is passion. You better have passion, because this is not an easy life. It's super challenging living your life on the road, and traveling all the time. So you better be prepared for that, and make sure that you get a good attorney to look at anything that you sign. Don't sign anything without an attorney.
Yeah, that's very, very good advice. Josh, on behalf of the Rock House, I wish you all of the best on the upcoming tour. Really looking forward to seeing you guys live. Best of luck, mate.
Thank you so much, man. We can't wait. See you guys soon.
Take care.